Hey, what's going on, everybody? YouTube subscribers, Facebook world, it's your girl, Isis Love. I am so super excited right now to be doing this video that I'm gonna do today because the video is long, long, long overdue. So I'm super excited to be sharing this journey with you guys. If you are new to my YouTube channel, please, and you're watching this, subscribe below, comment, and share this YouTube channel with somebody because this YouTube channel right here is going to be merging spirituality and finances and putting them into one because they really are one thing. So, what I want to talk about today is my journey to Central America. So, as I spoke about, some of you guys been following me for a long time, like when I had long dreadlocks and I was traveling to Central America and I was out at my mom's house. Well, flash forward, 3 or 4 years in advance, I'm back at my mother's house. And so I thought, what a perfect time to explain to you what happened because I kind of stopped, you know, being active on YouTube. I stopped posting videos because I was down in Central America and I was just really finding myself. So I want to kind of speak on that journey of how everything went down when I went to Central America, why I came back, why I cut my hair, and why I am on this financially journey right now to free as many people as possible financially. So let me flash forward. So last time I know I spoke to Central America. I went down there, you guys. I was down in Belize City. I worked at a urban garden for food security and peace. It was really, really, really amazing down there working with the garden, working with the land. And what they were showing us was that, you can garden with about anything. You can use recyclable bottles, you can use recyclable cans, anything, right? And so what I loved about being in Belize is that Belize has a lot of trash, right? And so their trash system is not the best. And so what the garden was showing is how you can use everyday resources to still be able to make a garden. So I was down in Belize City for a month, and then I was went on down to another part of Belize called Belma Pond, and I met up with a wonderful elder. He allowed me in his home for like 4 days, took me around Belma Pond. I went down until I crossed the border of Guatemala, right? So I traveled all the way down to Belize, and then I got to Guatemala. I'm trying to think of the place that I went to. Oh man, I can't think of the place. Can't think of the place right now, but it's in between Belize and Guatemala. So I took a boat and took a ferry over to Guatemala. It was really, 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 really exciting to just know that I could just take a boat from one area and then enter into Guatemala. So Guatemala was amazing. Let me tell you, the culture, the nature. Oh my gosh, the nature is amazing out in Guatemala. I love it. I love it. I love it. So when I got to Guatemala, I did a lot of like sleeping outside. Um, I connected with a nice hostel, and the hostel that I stayed in, was like a tree house, and so all the rooms were taken up, but I was able to pitch my tent like right by a running river. So just being out there in Guatemala, on my own, just a backpack, nothing but a few clothes in there, couple important paperworks, and just to be exploring the world was just so liberating for me. So liberating for me. But before I go on, and I'm sorry, there's so many mosquitoes out here. I'm down here in North Carolina, and the flood came down here, so it's a little crazy. So, anyways, before I get on my Central America, I have to add that I was in Africa too. So before I even went to my journey in Central America, I went out to Africa for 2 weeks. I went down to a place called Camp Kimberley. I arrived in Johannesburg. I stayed in Johannesburg for about 2 or 3 days before going down to Camp Kimberley, where I worked at a lion sanctuary. Yes, a lion sanctuary. You guys, it was my first time working with lions, right? And I have a little, let me see. 1 second, let me get my camera propped. Okay, so it was my first time working with lions, and it was magical, to be able to work with these what we would call predators, right? And to work with these predators and see that they can be gentle as well. So I did want to add that in there. Before I went to Central America, I was down in Africa for 2 weeks, and Africa was so amazing. You're talking about affordable. Wow, a whole meal for about $4. And we're talking about the drinks, we're talking about the food, we're talking about the snack. And if anybody knows, I love to eat. So that was a bargain for me. So phew, let's go on back to Central America, right? So I'm down in Central America, I'm down in Guatemala. I'm meeting amazing people from all over the world. The beautiful thing about it is you'll meet some people, you'll travel with them for maybe a day or two because you're going to the same area, and then they may leave, and then you may go your other way, then you meet some other people, and then you're on the journey by yourself, then you meet some other people. So it's just really cool because you get to have this time of like being with people and still experiencing the time to yourself. So I would definitely highly recommend anybody just go out, let go and let God and travel. So, after I did my little expedition in Guatemala, because I ended up getting an Airbnb place down Lake Atitlan. Oh my gosh, you guys, Lake Atitlan. Let me tell you what that is. So it's a huge lake, and around it sits many different villages alongside the lake in Guatemala. And so you literally will just take a ferry to each town. So that was beautiful. I was out there for a about a month and some change out there in like I said, Lake Atitlan, and really retiree area that I was on. It was called Pop. I'm gonna try to pronounce it. My gosh, we called it Pana. All right, if you just Google Pana Lake Atitlan, that's who the expats. That's how they call it because their name, I'm telling you, is long. So stay down there for a month. Ventured down to Honduras. I had to go to Honduras, you guys. And so let me tell you, as I traveled through this journey of solitude, not being on YouTube, not being on Facebook, I had so much time to go within myself and find out who I am because I was alone. I didn't have that stimulation. Of course, I met people on the journey, but I still was alone, right? So I went down to Honduras. Oh my gosh, I was in Rotan, and Rotan is where the boats come and they bring a lot of people to the cruises. So it was amazing to be out there. You're talking about see through water. The trees were magical. It was always sunny, always sunny. I had a magical, magical, magical experience with a tree out there for the first time. I learned how to communicate and connect with trees out in Honduras. So we had a real telepathic, communication. It was powerful. My energy in Honduras, I never felt a feeling like when I was in Honduras to have my body resonate with a land. So a lot happened down in Honduras. You see, my plan was to go down to Atlanta to a event called the Something Fresh Fest, and I was going to meet up with my friend Alex White. And I brought his ticket. We were going to be meeting up because he was supposed to come with me on the travel, but he couldn't make it, so he had to save us some money, and he's going to be joining me later. So I got the urge one morning to reach out to him, and I see he had called me, but I missed a call, and I was like, you know, after I, continue to start my day, I'm gonna call him a little bit later, right? And so, mind you, I'm sitting down. I remembered I'm eating the avocado sandwich, and something told me. A voice in the back of my head said, "In order for you to go to the next level, you're going to have to experience some losses." And I'm like, "What? What does that mean? What experience some losses?" Mind you, the voice went away. I paid it no mind. And so I finally decided to call my friend Alex. And so his mom answered the phone. I'm like, "What? That's weird. Why would his mom be answering the phone? She never answers the phone. It's the house phone." So I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" You know? And she's like, "I'm doing good." I think she said, "I'm not doing good," I meant. She said, "Alex is dead." I said, "What?" She said, "Alex is dead." I said, "No, he's not. you're lying. You guys, it was so devastating for you, for me, for her to know that my friend had just passed away. You guys, I was literally about to go to Georgia 3 days, fly out 3 days to go meet him. And when she told me that, the only thing that I could do is just get off that phone. I had to get off the phone because I knew I did not want to upset her. I knew I was upset. And I just started boo-hooing. I mean, bawling out. The lady who owned the hostel that I was in, she came out and she was like, because I was very, emotional, and she held me down for a little bit. And I had some people that I met there, they kind of held me down. But at that moment, the only thing you could do is just be to yourself and accept what had happened. And so, later that night, I went to sleep and I seen Alex. He came to me. He came to me in that hostel and I seen him. And so let me tell you what got me through his death. What got me through his death is that he would continue to like visit me, and he would always be laughing at me for crying. He's like, "Oh gosh, here you go. You want to get emotional." And he was like, "You got to realize that I'm so much stronger on this side. I'm so much stronger on this side to help you than I was on the physical realm." So by him coaching me through his death and through his experience, it really, really helped a lot. So I end up going to Georgia anyway. I went to the Something Fresh Fest. It was phenomenal, 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 you guys. Phenomenal. Life changing. I changed spiritually on so many different levels. I feel like it was an initiation to open me up to my divine priestesshood, because I started on this journey and in a spiritual journey, and I'm going to bring it into this financial journey that I'm in. But I really wanted to take the time to break this down to all of my YouTube subscribers, because I knew you guys used to always watch me every day. I was loading my videos consistently, but this is what went down. So I'm not going to give too much detail because it's been a lot. I might have to do a part 2 to go a little bit down in detail. But so I went to the Something Fresh event. I came back to North Carolina to my mom's, and I was about to go to Honduras, right? Something was like, okay, in my mind, I'm thinking I got to go back to Honduras, but in my heart, I felt stuck. I felt like I wasn't supposed to go, even though my mind was telling me that I should go. So I sat for a little bit in North Carolina in my parents' house for about a week, and I seen a spider weaving some things, and I was like, you know what? Because I started off in Central America to find land to that so that I can start building my tribe and building my empire. But I noticed that I needed to bring some more pieces together before I could start building the empire. I had to make sure that I was financially free, debt free, and I still did owe some money in some areas. So flash forward, my spirit told me, you got to go to Atlanta. I didn't know anybody in Atlanta. I didn't know where I was going to stay. I put a post out on Facebook Messenger. Hey, who can allow me to stay in their house while I find a place to stay? You guys, the next day, somebody hit me out. Shout out to Jay and her husband for letting me stay at their house for 2 weeks. You guys, the second day in Atlanta, I already manifested a apartment. See, when you let go and you let God and you listen to the divine will of the infinite within you, it will lead you to the right people, right places, and right situations. So I was able to manifest a home the second night I was there. So I had to wait 2 weeks until they can fix my apartment up. You guys, I stayed down in Atlanta. I went through so many different spiritual changes. Oh my gosh, I could be here all day telling you about those, but I'm not going to get so deep. I was supposed to go back to Georgia to manifest my beautiful partner, Miss Shanti Gumbo. She's a loving, kind spirit. She's basically, she's me. She's my soulmate. And so that's why I came back to Atlanta. So flash forward, we met her, instant, connection, because we just picked up on what we left for many lifetimes. We went out to Puerto Rico. We adventured to Puerto Rico. We did so much traveling, you guys. I just been traveling ever since I got back from Central America. So I embarked on this financial journey because it was, we did a lot of traveling. We came back to Atlanta. From Atlanta, we took a cross-country trip, which some of you know, to Arcata. So that's when the financial journey started. So fast forward, you guys know about my journey, driving cross country to Arcata. So I cut my hair, my dreads was really, really long, but I cut my hair because it symbolized it. It was my dirty 30 birthday. So I was in a whole new solar return bracket. And so I wanted to really just show myself that I wasn't attached to my hair and I wanted to start new. So that's why I cut my locks. One, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't attached and I wanted to start new. And as you see right now, it's growing back out. The locks is coming back in, right? So I cut my hair because I wanted to start new. My financial journey started because I got introduced to something called Forex trading. And I know you've been hearing me say a lot about Forex trading. And you're probably like, but what happened to the meditation, Isis? What happened to nature, Isis? What happened to tarot readings? It is still here. This channel is being revamped. We are merging spirituality and finances together, which brings my academy, Spiritual Fi Academy, where we're going to be working on laws of attraction and working on different ways to bring in multiple streams of income. One of those ways that I do is through Forex trading, right? The foreign exchange market, the exchange from one currency to another currency. The whole time I traveled, I had to exchange currency, but I never knew that it was the Forex market. You guys, the banks are trading your money on the Forex market. Whether you know it or not, right? The banks is trading your money. So nobody should be making more money off of your money than you. Nobody should. So that's what really got me fired up on trading Forex. So I just kind of wanted to come on here, give a brief synopsis of everything that happened, leaving Africa, going to Central America, cutting my hair, the whole Central America journey. And here we are now. So I really want to start galvanizing the same amount of views that I got on my videos before. I'm going to continue to be consistent with my videos, bringing you spirituality and finances, bringing you more about Forex, bringing you more about the law of attraction, and also speaking about relationships and relating, because it's so important that we focus on our relationships. So it's been a pleasure. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, comment below, ask me some questions. I love your feedback. It's your girl, Isis Love. Peace, love, and prosperity. Thank you for joining. All right, I gotta figure out how to end this.